Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss what level of expertise do you expect from a bourbon blogger or a podcaster. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Danny Kennard, Kathy Cool, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, so we're going to discuss that. Ultimately, McNew and I may find ourselves out of a job if the other three are like, we really expect a lot of expertise and professionalism, and McNew and I will be gone. There'll be someone else here taking our place on the Bourbon Daily, but we'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, McNew said there's something she wanted to talk about unrelated to that. What is that, McNew?
Okay, so I don't know if we got, this is going to sound like weird phrasing, but a little spoiled by the pandemic of things just being absolutely streamable. Like whole seasons of things would drop on one day. And now I have two shows that I really like. It's 1883 and Pam and Tommy.
Right.
And I have to fucking wait every week for a new show. Like it pisses me off. Like they could have dropped them all and I could have spent a whole Saturday and Sunday just watching them. But now I have to wait. Like I'm supposed to remember Sunday. I'm supposed to remember Wednesday. Like drop me a whole season. I want whole season. I don't want week to week bullshit episodes.
Yeah.
That's my old grumpy.
I'm okay with network TV still being week to week. So like a Gordon Ramsay show, I like his stuff. And
but if I'm paying
I'm okay with it. But yeah, like you said, on the streaming things where you're paying for it, it feels like you need to get the whole thing. Like I was watching Dexter, they did the relaunch of it and I loved it. And I would get to the end and be like, all right, let's start the next one. And be like, well, it comes out next Sunday. Oh my God, you got to wait a whole week for this? It's bullshit.
No, I hate it.
I hate it
so much.
Yeah, and I don't think they should do movies anymore where you can't watch it at home the same day.
There were two that I was very mad about. It was House of Gucci and Scream. I'm like, I can't stream those at my house. Like, still haven't seen House of Gucci. I did go to see Scream. It was really good. They did a good job. But I didn't want to go to a theater because I'm like, it's dirty and gross and like it's
it feels like they could charge you.
I'm like, charge me $20 to stay home and stream this.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Some movies are better in the theater because if they're big and epic and you need to have the big screen.
Kathy, it sounds like your TV
sound.
sucks.
Yeah.
It sounds like Kathy's TV sucks.
It does.
I think her TV sucks.
We have a big TV and a soundbar.
I think that used to be the case, Kathy. I just don't think so anymore because it's improved on. I feel like they've ruined the theater experience for me. So the theater experience used to be a lot of people, and you would have the experience of the audience, and then you'd have the better sound than you have at home. Now the sound is probably better at your house than or equal as to what it is at the theater. And they took out all the chairs. They have like 12 chairs in a movie theater now, but what they want to push is the food sale. They don't care about the ticket sales anymore. They want to come bother you every 6 seconds. Would you like a drink, sir? What would you like to drink?
Don't go to those theaters.
Oh, they're all like that now. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The one we went to had a bar, which is actually kind of cool. But I'm just like a movie. I'm just like I could buy like a $15 ticket, but like we end up spending $100 because we're buying drinks the whole time. I'm like,
well, that's why you take a flask. You always sneak your own booze into the movies.
Right. You buy the 32-ounce soda, and then you turn around and bring your flask with you.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are smarter than me, apparently, because I spent like $120
purses.
Just let me watch it at home. I don't want to watch it in the theater.
I don't. Yeah,
Well,
I don't want to go. And
The other side of this is what I hate is when they turn around and start making a show and then they quit. And then you have no ending to it. Like
they just leave
like
you
the
hanging.
ranch.
The ranch.
Like what? Oh, the ranch.
The ranch was so good. I love the ranch.
Mm-hmm. It
Was
was
it
good,
about
They
ranch
but
have
then
little legal
it just left me
problems with
hanging.
that one guy, Danny Masterson.
Oh.
He kind of but the ranch was so good. But that's the thing, like where they would do a season and then you'd have to wait 6 months for the next season. I'm like, I don't fucking remember. I gotta watch season 1 again before I can watch season 2.
True.
Give them to me all at once. I need it all in a weekend. I can't do the week to week thing.
Yeah.
You
It's
young
almost
people
like you
and your
gotta,
instant gratification.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm waiting until this show Yellowstone ends, and I'm just going to watch it all. I don't want to wait for seasons and all that kind of stuff. I'll just wait till it all ends, and then I'll power through the whole thing in a couple weekends. So
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
yeah, it's just better that way. That's where we're at these days, I think.
And the tricky thing about Dexter is the first one was free, but then you had to own the whatever streaming service it's on to get the rest of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Showtime?
what he's on, but
It's on Showtime. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up turning on Showtime for like some intro offer, and then I'm going to turn it off right as it ends. I think the end of March I've got it.
That's how they get you, Steve, because I forget. I'm just like,
Oh, I don't forget. Oh, I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap. I put it on the calendar.
Next month, I'm just like, what the
He's got a spreadsheet.
You can see it's on the ABV Network calendar. I'm that cheap. It's cancel Showtime is on there.
I never remember.
Search Showtime. You'll see I've got it. I've already got it on there.
Style spreadsheet of how to rotate his streaming services.
Oh yeah.
I sign up, like I use multiple email addresses and I'll sign up multiple times. And I'm like,
I saw that's a millennial app that they've got that tracks the services that you have to help you cancel them. I'm like, seriously, you have to have an app to show you what services you need to cancel because you can't keep track of that.
Because if they're like, you get a week free, I'm like, good, sounds good right now. Like I'm not writing this shit down. I'm not writing down my password. I'm just signing in because I want to watch it right now. And then I'm just like, what are all these charges? Oh fuck. Happens all the time.
This is like the state of modern TV according to boomers.
Yeah, I guess.
Boomers
I'm not a
or
boomer,
millennials or Gen Xers?
No,
Which one?
Yeah, I'm not a
We're
boomer.
all mad right now. We're all mad.
There's no boomers. There's no boomers.
I
don't know that we have any. Maybe Luke Otero might be our only boomer that we've got in the group. Well, I guess the legend.
The
know.
legend's a boomer.
He's a boomer. Yeah, but that's it. That's not really much of a boomer group, really. So yeah, there you go. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Danny. Danny, what do you got there, man?
Let's go with
Okay. Tumbling dice.
no.
Yes.
I'm gonna try Old Moses.
Same
Holy
old
damn,
Moses.
Old Moses.
I've never heard of
on
that.
that.
I've never heard of that.
Didn't even hear
Where's
it.
that
No.
out of? Who makes that?
Yeah.
Mike Muffle.
What is the deal on the same old Moses? Where's it?
Where's
who
it
makes
from?
it? What's it say, Danny? What can you tell us?
Don't you dare say Colorado.
It's Colorado. Buena Vista.
Favorite Colorado whiskey.
Yeah. He's checking it out. Danny's reading.
It's out of Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Okay. Boy, he loves his Oklahoma stuff. Gosh
Yeah.
darn.
What's the proof?
What's the proof, Danny?
100
Same.
proof.
100 proof. Okay. That's fair. That's
Nice looking label. I like that bottle.
Yeah. Kathy, what do you got?
I'm going to open up a bottle of Wilderness Trail bourbon. Hope.
Okay. That's the lead. It was absolutely horrible.
It was
but it's the
cute
lead.
though. It was cute. It was
Okay.
horrible.
McNew, next. What do you got?
I also not going to do much. I have some Uncle Nearest 1856.
Okay.
No.
No. Kathy still has the lead. As pathetic as that is, Kathy's got the lead. What do you got, Lenny?
I got some Stranahan's Blue Peak.
Okay. Okay. There's our new leader. Very weak. Very weak. I've got Yellowstone here. I got the barrel pick from the Stubborn German, the fruitcake barrel.
Good label.
Let's see. Here we go. That's victory right there. Not much, but enough to win it.
All victory. Cheers, Steve.
Very poor field. So yeah, there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, they make good stuff.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to ask what level of expertise you guys will be looking for in your podcasters and bloggers. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. Danny, though, you are between Jim and Victory. What do you got?
I have an Indiana rye.
Sure, Danny.
Tumble dice.
Cumbledice. Yes, I love Cumbledice. I'm sure that's the name of the brand, Cumbledice. Sure.
Tumble dice.
Oh, Tumble Dice. Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Freddie Mills of Ruse.
Okay. Freddie Mills of Ruse.
So we're about to pop it.
No, that was all desk is what that was. All desk, no pop. Jim wins. So Jim, you got it there, man.
Hey.
Congrats, Jim.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers. Oh my God, this is horrible.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today, Steve and I are canceling ourselves, and we're talking about what kind of expertise you would like to see in your bourbon bloggers and podcasters.
Yes, we are. So if you're willing to invest, I don't know, about $15 a month, and you have a computer, you can have either a podcast or a blog. And there's a lot of people that do it. You know, they get in and they, get their friends together and create a show, and that becomes their podcast. Or they just start writing about bourbon and asking companies if they'll send them whiskey because they're a big time blogger, and companies do send them stuff, and it becomes a whole thing, and then they become very self-important. But what level of expertise do you guys think you need to have? Would you be looking for anything, or when you hear one of these individuals talk and you realize they're not really that into bourbon as they are being famous or getting free stuff, does that bother you? Or it doesn't matter if you like what their writing is or you like what their show is? That's all that matters. So I'm not trying to steer you guys in a direction. I'm really looking for your direction as to what your thoughts are. So we'll start with Kathy. Kathy, what are your thoughts?
Okay. Well,
what sort of
actually,
expertise?
I have a question for Lenny about this. So a blogger comes to you and asks you to participate in a show. Do you research who they are first and how many followers they have? Or are you really just interested in like the free marketing?
Kind of neither. It's what I will research is it like I hate to say this, but like, is it like legit? Do they keep it real? Like, is it what if they just start up, but there's a lot of soul to it? Then that's the most important thing to me. I don't care if they have 5 followers. Maybe it'll build. I just have to believe in it. is kind of my approach.
Right. So I was thinking about this today and I was like, when you have a market like this, like, look at the secondary market, look at how big bourbon is. You're going to have an influx of people. Like there's people out there who are selling whiskey on the secondary market and paying for their house off the backs of other people. But if they're doing it, that's their thing. So I think you're just going to have a whole big pot to choose from, and the cream's going to rise to the top. People are going to get disenchanted by bad podcasters, or they're idiots, and idiots can hang out together all they want. And then the good stuff is going to rise to the top, and they're going to have the followers, and they're going to be the ones that are going to attract the better guests, the better, people to talk to.
Yeah. I can't believe, Kathy, how many people that concept is lost upon, though. So I don't want to get into the details of it, but I took a meeting this week with someone looking for our content for their thing that they've got. And I don't know what's wrong with Andy there.
Oh, he knows the story.
Maybe. So yeah, they're looking for our content. I'm not going to go into the details. I don't want to give away who this is, but they and I was like, well, we're always looking to grow ours. And if it makes some sense to work with you, we'll do it, because it'll be another way people can find us. And then he started talking about how much he wants to charge me for coming and being part of his network, if you will. I'm like, what? I create the content and then I pay you to be on your platform. You don't create content at all. You're not adding any value to anything. You've got a place now that it can be domiciled, but why would I want to be a part of that if I got to pay you? That's not how it works. If I go pitch, one of our movies to the Discovery Channel, they're not saying, okay, well, this is how much we'll charge you, Steve, to come on there. No, if he wants to be the owner of a company, he's got to decide how much he's paying for content. It was just so backwards to me. I just couldn't believe it. So. I was on the call with Bo, who of course does our video production and stuff like that. And Bo doesn't say a word because he's a nice guy. He lets me doing all the yelling and stuff like that. So, but then when we get to the end, Bo had the best line. He's like, that guy just bought a bag of apples for $1. Now he's trying to sell the apples for $5 a piece. Like, exactly. Why did you say that while I'm talking to this guy? That was a great line. But yeah. Yeah, so that could have shut the guy up, but yeah, so it's interesting to me that people don't see the value of the content. Now he wants to build this thing that has all these content providers, but they're not all created equal. You can't just be like, okay, I'll throw a dead cat, and the first 100 that cat touches, I want their content. No, you got to vet it out. You got to get the good stuff. You got to get the good stuff, and that's what's going to keep people coming back to you. It's not the fact that you have the means to get in front of people. It's that what are you putting in front of them, and that's where they're going to come back again and again. Not because you're doing it, because what you're doing is good.
So don't we want the open market or the concept of whatever to eliminate him?
Yeah, and I think it will.
Like natural selection.
Yeah.
He will eliminate himself.
Yeah. Exactly. Because you're not going to watch bad content. It's right.
Because basically what I wrap this in is to like the motivational speakers.
Right.
Plain and simple. There's a guy that can get out there and he can sell his ass off, do whatever he wants to do, and try to trap a certain amount of people.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be a certain amount of people that are trapped into it. But until you actually prove to me that you know who you're talking about, the big names, and maybe hopefully you've explored yourself into some of the crafts,
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear about them too. I don't always want to hear about just the big name guys.
The big heritage brands. Yeah. Right. Which are great. We're not bashing heritage.
Right.
But
I'm not bashing. No.
Yeah, we like it.
I like quite a bit.
But we like the craft too. Yeah.
I want to know the smaller guys too.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question though. Like, I guess like with regards to expertise in general, Steve, something I appreciate that happens as far as, my listening goes on the ABV network is like one can't know it all.
Right.
On any facet. So I think that as a qualifier, certainly not constantly. No one wants to always hear, well, I don't know the answer to this and that. But at the same time, I've listened to some podcasts where I I know a decent amount about making whiskey, but I for sure don't know it all. No one ever will. That's not a thing. But be it myself or, hundreds of other distillers out there, we'll state what we think or is what are feeling to be true. And a lot of times I'll hear folks restate those things as 100% fact. And they're not. They're takes that a distillery or a brand or a distiller might have. I appreciate a little bit of qualification, that it's not necessarily fact. It's something that was heard or told. And, I guess, at risk of being repetitive, when I hear something stated as 100% fact that somebody in the industry said, well, don't do that. Like, I feel like that's, just dropping the bar on expertise.
Yeah. How quick do you think you can vet out someone knows what they're doing and someone who's in it just to make money? Because there's a lot of people that are just into this thing because bourbon is hot. There's an opportunity to, whether it's make money off sponsorships or, another way to make money is just getting free product. A lot of them aren't necessarily in it. They're not getting paid for anything, but they're getting free product. And that's what the goal is. But how good are you at vetting those individuals out? Do you feel
like how quality is the bullshit sniffer?
Yeah. How quality is your personal bullshit sniffer? When you talk to a person, do you like, yeah, I know why they're in this. They just want either to be, somewhat some sort of fame, or they're looking for a free product, but they really don't know or have the love or passion for bourbon, which I it's sad to say, but there's a lot of people out there that I talk to and they don't know anything about the brands or the people, or they'll tell me they live in St. Louis and they're a big time bourbon fan. They know everything and they're a big time collector and all this. I'll be like, what do you think of Stumpy's? Who? Where are they? I'm like, yeah,
he has a sticker for them.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big bourbon guy.
Yeah. Those sort of things, that sort of question tells me everything I need to know about a person that says that they're a big time bourbon fan. They might enjoy to drink it and and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also wouldn't present myself as like Lenny's sticker, which is so spot on. I'm a big time bourbon guy when in reality, I don't know anything. I don't even know, the best distiller in the area or anything like that. It's weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good question. We all probably have answers to that one. But, for me personally, I think I've got various levels of bullshit detector. One is like immediately, I'm like, what is going on here? This is like borderline scam. I don't have time. The other is like, and maybe, I don't know, this is too much of a nicety, but if someone approaches and seems to have a curiosity and it kind of falls in line with at a distillery myself, or anybody who works at a distillery, you get approached by folks all frequently who want to know about what's going on because they want to be in the business. I'll give them the time of day all the time. It's just how much time of day,
right?
And until it, at that point, it's like a vetting or like sniffing around. Be it that person who might want to start a distillery or someone who has a media outlet of some sort. At a certain point, if it doesn't feel legit, you just, for me, I move on. But
yeah,
I don't know. Everybody's got their.
Kathy, what do you think? How's your BS meter?
The average intelligence of the human population is really actually very low. Seriously.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't work in bourbon, but I work in management, and I think I have a pretty good BS detector. But also, when I don't know enough about something, I'm willing to say I don't know. And if these people are out there saying they know, and I do, if one fact check comes back and you're an idiot, then you're an idiot. But I will get on YouTube and watch people taste stuff and give their opinions on stuff. And if they're tasting things that I know I like or I know I don't like, and they're agreeing with me, I'll give them a second shot. I'll watch a couple of episodes. But everybody doesn't know everything and everybody doesn't know nothing.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
What about the relationships that an individual has? Is that important to you? Like this person actually is friends with, a certain amount of people, or does that put them a higher elevation in the industry if they know a lot of people and they're actually,
the guy who's trying to make money by doing nothing?
Right.
Oh, he gets no credit for anything.
Okay.
No, he's a tool.
Yeah. McNew, what do you think about all this? Do you think people who have podcasts and stuff like that should be knowledgeable?
I do in a way, right? Like, I think you should know who's who. You should have some relationships. You should have some basic knowledge, at least be like kind of like a certified bourbon steward, at least be passionate enough to educate yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just in it to make money, you're not passionate about it, then you can tell who's who, right? Like, if you're into it, you're going to educate yourself in various ways. You're going to go to classes. You're going to take all the education you can get. And I think that's important. I can't give a shit about a review show though. Like, I can't get into it. Like, this dude can be like, I get apricots and pears. And I'm like, dude, that is corn and chocolate. Like, I don't care about other people's reviews. And I hate shows. I don't watch them. I think that's more boring than watching, like, listening to NPR to me. Like, I can't do it. I don't care. But I think people that are passionate, people that make relationships because they're passionate, those are the bloggers and the podcasters and the Instagram people I want to watch. Like Dan Kidd out of Indianapolis, he's heavy bourbon on Instagram. He's fucking fun. Like, he's like 2 o'clock chugs. People hate on him because he's chugging, but I think he's fun. Like, he's built a brand. Like, he's done several different picks. People love him, and I think it's fun.
I think he's good. I'll say I think he's good. I think he's good at branding. I like the guy. I think he's a likable person. I don't like him watching him put his lips on a bottle all the time, because I don't want to go to his house and hang out with him and take a pour.
No, of course. And that's a preference, but I think he's passionate, and I think he knows what he's doing with what he's doing. And Jack, I'm going to kill Jack's last name, but Hood Sommelier, Jack knows what he's doing, and Jack is fun to watch. Jack is passionate.
He's built a hell of a brand. Yes. Yeah.
He's fun. You're passionate, like all of our events, everything we're doing. And I'm like, you make the relationships, you bring people in. And I think that's important. Like, and I still couldn't give a shit about your tasting notes.
Yeah, well, I tend to, I get stuck doing that sometimes. You know, people send you stuff, and you're compelled to do that. But yeah, I never feel like anybody should be. That's why that's my value to the contribution to the world of bourbon is my tasting notes.
No,
it's not.
And if that's what you're after, I'm just like, why is your palate so superior? Sorry,
yeah.
I can't get into that, but I think like, hey, I like this brand and this is why I like it, or hey, I went here and this was a really cool experience. I think just living it is more important than like, hey, I tasted this and this is my thoughts.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the question. What are people doing with what they listen to on the podcast and read on the blogs? Are they educating themselves, or are they just like wasting time? Are they turning it into a life experience, or are they making connections with any of the people, or are they just like, I'm at work and I'm bored and I need something to look at?
Yeah.
Or are they just going, hey, this guy says this is the best stuff. This is what I need to go after.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it's personality driven. Like, sometimes I'm funny and like sometimes I'm like an idiot, but like I really know my stuff though, right? Like, I know bourbon and I can tell you about it.
I think for us, I think, you know, on any given moment, we're probably not hitting on all those things, but for a total, I think we do. I think we are educational. I think we are fun. I think we're personality driven, and there's shows that we do that are about the people. You know, we do the mail-it-in shows where we're not even talking about bourbon, because our audience, our fan base likes the people. And that's funny, because I had this conversation actually in Key West with an individual that said, you know, I love what you're doing with the Bourbon Show. I hate what you're doing with the Bourbon Daily. And I was like, I get it, because you're in the industry and you like the serious approach and you like the educational aspects of the Bourbon Show. We're talking to the people that are making things happen on the Bourbon Show. And then when we're not, we're doing the pint size that's topics that are bourbon related. We take them seriously. On the Bourbon Daily, we're having fun most days, though there is some education that happens. But you know what? Here's the end of the day. What builds community, what builds a fan base is that connection, that what they can listen to every day, and the personalities they like. I tune in and it was a McNew day. I like to listen to McNew, or I like Lenny or Dan. When this guy Danny's on, he's great. He's funny. I think that's what why they like the Bourbon Daily. And I said to this individual, I said, you know, if you go around You're going to have conversations with every person at this thing and ask them what their favorite show is on the ABV network. And I guarantee you what they're going to say is the Bourbon Daily. And that's just because people who like you and like what you do, they like the personalities of the show. So, though I think the Bourbon Show is a greater contribution in terms of education and things like that, there's a very big place for the show, I think. And it's helped us build the community side of things.
And I like the Bourbon Show. I actually do listen to the Bourbon Show more than I listen to the Bourbon Daily. Because like Renee and Jeremy, they're so refined. It's like you have the Bourbon Daily and we're having fun and we're crazy people. But then you get these two refined people with you, Steve. And Jeremy know their things, and you guys do amazing interviews, and you get those interviews. But even when it's the pint size, you're talking about things, and they're talking about things in a serious way, but they're not giving me their damn tasting notes. Like they're just... Right. They're educated in what they're doing, and they're still passionate about what they're doing. So they're still fun to listen to. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. There's our take on, expertise. You ultimately decide. We're not telling you what to listen to and what not to. At the end of the day, it has to be what you think is fun and you want to listen to. But we basically just said that we're awesome and fun. Hopefully you think we're the most awesome. Is the bottom line. So we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
I'm on the Facebook machine at Kathy Cool.
All right, Danny.
You can find me at Danny Kennard on Facebook.
All right, Lenny.
Find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the webs at deerhammer.com. You can also order Deerhammer, ship direct to your door from there. And you should come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, our blogs, our shop, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.